Hey, yo! Guys, McCoy, Orlando! Welcome, guys. I'm your host, Atrain Reacts. Today is a little bit different of a video. It isn't a reaction video, so to speak, but it's more like a movie review video. And we're talking none other than One Piece Film Red. Have you guys seen it? Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? What was your feelings about it? Well, I'm going to talk about how I feel about it. So if you haven't watched the movie, or if you want to, this is a spoiler video. So make sure that, you're watching it for your own risk. But basically, I'm going to talk about my feelings for the video. Just like I would rate it immediately, because most people rate at the end. So honestly, I would give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. I really did like the aspect. I already knew going into the movie that it was going to be like a musical, and there was going to be a lot of singing and a lot of, just talking and but it's a shonen anime. So it definitely did go into depth about fighting and like interactions and funny moments and all that. But I really like the character Ultra just because of how she's just, an emotional character, and she just wants peace and she wants to save the world and everything like that. And obviously she went through a traumatic event that made her hate pirates in the movie and want to just save everybody, because obviously in the movie there's a part where she's Shanks' daughter, but she's not really Shanks' daughter. It's more like the crew found her and basically they raised her to be their daughter. And in the movie, there's a part where, she's a singer of the crew. She hangs out with Luffy and the gang and all that all the time. And then, she just says, I hate pirates. I'm just going to make this world beautiful and I'm going to control everything. And then that's when she puts all the pirates locked up in this musical note, and she's just kind of going crazy, and she's giving food to everyone. Her power is just actually insane. And I was like, how does she have so much power for a devil fruit user? And basically, Luffy's just like, yo, what's going on? This isn't like you. Like we're friends. Why are you turning on me? Yeah, she was just, I guess, a lot of mental stuff going on, because she was just upset, angry, just everything. And then it turns out that, with her, the backstory between her and Shanks, apparently they went to a musical island where there was a whole bunch of musical people and stuff like that. And apparently there was an ancient weapon there. And in that ancient weapon, it was a musical note that gave you unlimited power. It was like a devil power, so to speak. And basically the girl, Ultra, she read the note, whatever, by accident, and she released a demon while she was on the Shanks Island with all the musicians and everything. And she is the one that ended up destroying the island. But for the longest, she had a mentor that took care of her, while she wasn't with Shanks. And he told her basically, hey, Shanks destroyed the entire island. He stole all the treasure, and he just left you behind. And for the longest, she was like, Shanks is a villain, pirates are evil. She was just basically hurt and emotional. And basically later on, we figure out that, the guy was just lying to her, because what really happened was she was the one that destroyed the island, because she read the notes. And she just basically destroyed everything, killed everybody, everything. And then Shanks and the crew had to end up stopping her and saving her, so to speak. But, she had that mindset that Shanks is the one who destroyed everything. Later on, the old man that was raising her, that left her on the island with him, explained to her what really happened. And Luffy was like, you see that? You heard? Shanks is not really evil. And then while she was unleashing her power, she was just like, I've been knew that a year ago. I was like, you knew that? Are you still doing this? But apparently what happened was she was eating mushrooms to keep herself awake, because she locked everyone in basically, I would guess, her own dimension, her own realm, so to speak, whatever it is. And it was just an all-star lineup with, Luffy's crew, Kobe, and I forget the guy with the swords, his, teammate. Then we had Big Mama's people. We had Oven and Broly. Then we had CP9, where we had the guy who had the door fruit. It was great. And it was just seeing a lot of, and this, her singing and expressing herself from feeling loneliness to feeling happiness to wanting to protect everybody. And it definitely made me be like, wow, that's got me there. Obviously for me, I think it was a little bit too much singing, a little bit, but I knew that going into it, but I understood she was trying to express herself and express her emotions. And midway through, the Navy comes, and they're like, she's a threat. Even the 5 elders in the Navy were like, yo, we gotta execute the plan. And I'm like, what's the plan? And so while Luffy and everyone's trying to figure out how to escape the dimension she's in, the Navy pulls up and they start blasting people, bro. Like they're just shooting citizens. It doesn't matter who it is. And, the Navy is meant to help people, but they be doing some dark stuff for, the whole society. They're trying to protect everybody. I'm like, protect? What? Like you're not even protecting nothing. Like you out here, bah, 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 bah. Like even regular civilians, and it was crazy. And Ultra is just losing it, and that's where Shanks and the gang appear, and they're just like, Ultra, you gotta stop, man. You gotta stop. And she's breaking down, and then she starts spazzing, bro. Like, obviously, all the trauma's coming together. Then she's just even going more crazy, and she's just like, she's losing her mind because she's just like, the guy that abandoned me is here, but I do know the truth. What am I supposed to feel? And that's basically where she uses I guess they call it the I forget what weapons, but in One Piece there's a legendary weapons, basically where if you ever seen Fishman Island, you should know Shihoshi. She has the ability to summon what's it called, sea monsters, and just ancient weapons that can destroy the world, basically. And that's what Ultra had. She had the ancient weapon that she originally had, and she was just like, I'm too weak now, I have to use it. And so basically she unleashes the demon god of music or whatever. And I'm just like, a demon god of music? Okay, you kind of stretching One Piece just a little bit. But basically that gives her ultimate power up, and she just goes even more crazy. And then I guess with that demon god, basically it can be in the regular world and it can be in the fantasy world she mixed up. So it's in both worlds. And now the citizens are just that she was controlling, and everybody. The citizens that were in the dream world, she was controlling their real physical bodies, and they're attacking Shanks and the Navy. And Shanks and the Navy wasn't fighting back, but obviously, the Navy just shooting, the people, so they're not giving no fucks. And I'm like, wow. And Shanks is obviously trying to talk to Ultra, but then, the Navy's just like, they step in, they're like, the admirals come, two of them, Fujitora, Kizaru, are just like, trying to fight Shanks. And Shanks like, yo, can you give me a minute, yo? I'm trying to talk to my daughter. Y'all trying to fight me. Like, give me a second. And basically, I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm just taking it all in because I'm just like, wow, we finally, I'm just really happy I get to see Shanks. I'm not gonna lie. I get to see more than 5 seconds of screen time and him actually talking and interacting, and just, it was great. And Luffy and the gang and everyone are trying to basically still talk to Ultra, but they're fighting her at the same time in the, I gotta imagine, like, how strong you gotta be to fight in the real physical world and in your imagination world. Like, her power was just ridiculous. And so obviously they start, they have to coordinate their attacks. So basically, obviously, you see a giant demon, everyone has to work together to defeat it in both worlds. So, but the Navy, they're not helping out low-key, except for Kobe and them with Luffy. Obviously, they're gonna help. But everyone else in the Navy side, man, they try to mess things up. So, Luffy and the gang are fighting. Everyone's using their special abilities, their new special power-ups, and they're all going crazy. Even Shanks and them are fighting on the other side. And then that's the part that confuses me. I don't know how their eyes must have linked up, because there's a part where the Big Mama girl, Broly, ended up linking eyes, showing, because Katakuri ended up making a surprise appearance, and he's like, I'm here to save my sister. And I'm like, where you come from? Like, huh? What do you mean save your sister? And so he comes, and basically he sees what they see. And basically he was just kind of telling Shanks, and Shanks is like, I already knew. And I'm just like, you knew? All right, I will give you that. And so basically, both sides are kind of seeing each other's perspectives, and then obviously, the Shanks crew, who you think is going to link up. You would think Luffy and Shanks. No, it's actually Usopp and his dad who ended up, linking together and seeing the same thing and talking to each other. And he's like, finally, you notice, Usopp. And so then now they're starting to correlate attacks. Usopp's giving direction, and his dad's giving them direction. And both teams are using their powerhouses like Zoro and Nami, and everyone's just using their special ability. And basically, it's just a good little side-to-side comparison. Boom, 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 on your face. It's just a big-ass fight. And obviously, the main event, Luffy and Shanks are up. So, Luffy goes to Gear 4. He's like, and he starts going crazy. Then first he goes to regular Gear 4. Then he goes to Snake Man, and then in a surprise, like I guess like maybe 30 seconds, while Luffy's doing his ultimate attack Python, or I wouldn't say his Python, it was Cobra, his Cobra attack. He was using Cobra, and Shanks don't really got names for his moves. He just sword, slash. So they're both using their ultimate attacks, and obviously it's a side-by-side comparison, and they're both screaming and going, and then at some point Luffy hit Gear 5, but it was for like a split second. Like you see Luffy's all white interior, and they defeat the demon, and they're side by side standing next to each other. And I'm like, that's great. I wish I got to see more Gear 5. I really did. I really did. That was something I really wanted to see. I mean, so is next time, right? We just gotta wait in the show. I mean, I'm an anime watcher only, so I have to wait. And then the Odyssey was more sad because even though they defeated the demon, they all still couldn't leave the dimension. So Ultra had to use her ability to sing, and she's singing her heart out to make sure to get everyone back. And because, she's been awake this entire time, it's killing her, because no one can survive staying awake. It fucks with your brain, it fucks with everything. And, she ended up, after she finished singing with everybody, and Shanks was like with her, holding her and everything, obviously she ended up passing before, she could see Luffy the gang because, everyone's waking up around the world. Obviously, I thought she was gonna wake up next to Luffy and everything, but she's on the ship with Shanks. They're all surrounding her. Luffy's like, "Yo, where's Ultra?" And then he looks over to the ship, and she sees Ultra all the way over there. And you see Shanks' crew surrounding her, and I'm just like, Luffy just grabbed his hat, and he was just like. So you already knew what happened, and yeah, it's serious face. But I also love there's a part that represents a Straw Hat too, where she kind of took his hat, and basically she says like, "You can't become king of the pirates. I won't let you. You have to stay with me forever." There's a point where she's literally ripping his hat, and I'm like, bro, if you really want to mess with Luffy and mess with his heart and emotions, touch this thing. But Luffy was conflicted because that's her friend. You know what I mean? And your friend's ripping your own hat, so what do? You can't just spaz on them. But, overall, the ending scene was great. Overall, I think the movie, like I said, was just great. 8 out of 10. A lot of emotion, a lot of singing, a lot of just, it had a lot of messages. Just never judge a book by its cover. We can always achieve our own personal happiness and trying to make the world different, but you can't lose those ones that are closest to you in the process. And it was a great movie, honestly. I mean, if you still stuck around, even though I said spoiler free, man, go check the movie out, man. You'll love it. You'll really love it. If you like what I'm saying, and if you watch the movie, tell me what your thoughts, whether you thought it sucked or whether you thought it was great. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. So I'll see you later in the week. Let's hop aboard the A-Train and let's go places. Peace.